Yo, what's up mga kaibigan? This is I2K po again. Ngayon nandito ulit tayo sa channel ni Pinas News Insider upang magbigay ng komento at reaksyon. Kaya sabahan niyo ako guys, let's go!
Kakapasok lang na balita. Trending ngayon sa mundo ng social media ang di umano'y balitang. Matapos binahanga at pinalakpakan, bumilib ang mga netizen sa Amerika at matagumpay na nakauwi sa bansang Pilipinas, ay heto na naman ang mga magagandang pasalubong ng ating mahal na Pangulong Bongbong Marcos para sa mga Pilipino. Ito ang mainit na balitang pinutakti ngayon ng samutsaring komento mula sa marami sa ating mga kababayan at marami nga sa kanila ngayon ang hindi napigilan ang kanilang sarili na maglabas ng kani-kanilang hinaing at komento sa mundo ng social media. Pero bago ang lahat, kung bago pa lamang kayo sa channel na ito,
Sa lahat ng hindi pa nakasubscribe kay Pinas News Insider guys, mag-subscribe na po tayo at huwag niyo rin kalimutan mag-subscribe dito sa akin channel. Game guys, ituloy ulit natin.
ay huwag kalimutang i-click ang subscribe at notification bell para mas maging updated pa kayo lalo sa lahat pa ng bagong videos na i-upload namin. At yun na nga mga kababayan. Para pala sa hindi nakakaalam, ay alam nyo ba na tulad rin sa resulta ng pagpunta ni President Bongbong Marcos sa Indonesia at Singapore few weeks ago? Alam nyo ba na karamihan rin sa mga posibleng investment pledge na iniuwi ni President Marcos from US ay mga negosyong may kinalaman rin sa IT, mga negosyong may kinalaman rin sa digital infrastructures at mga negosyo na may kinalaman sa garments, at ang isa sa pinakamaganda sa mga ito ay walang iba kundi itong mga literal na infrastructures talaga. Which is, alam naman natin na kapag infrastructure agad ang
Talagang pinapaunlad ni BBM yung kun natin, ng Pilipinong bansa natin. Na ipag-connect siya sa iba't ibang mga taga-ibang bansa ng mataas. Diba?
usapan.
Yun sana yung mga nilalabas ng mga mainstream media guys.
Siguradong Japan at China ang pumapasok sa inyong mga isipan na hindi naman namin kayo masisisi kung ganito ang inyong isipin. Dahil itong mismong bagong water dam na ginagawa dito sa Pilipinas ay bansang China nga rin ang nagpondo. Pero kung itong mga American investor na mismo ang maglalaan ng milyong dolyares upang magpatayo ng kung ano-anong infrastructures dito sa Pilipinas, ay alam nyo ba ang magagandang resulta nito sa ating bansa? Well, ang unang-una nga dito ay syempre, dadami rin ang papasok na dolyares dito sa Pilipinas na alam nyo naman na kapag maraming dollars ang pumapasok dito sa ating bansa, ay dumadami at lumalaki rin ang dollar reserve ng ating gobyerno, na ang pinakamagandang resulta naman nito ay posibleng tumaas naman ang halaga ng Philippine peso. Kapag tumaas naman ang halaga ng peso, ay dito na rin magsisimulang maramdaman ng maraming mga Pilipino ang unti-unting pagbaba ng presyo ng mga
Kung tutusin guys, ang laki ng kanya yun. Para palit na sa 56 dati, nasa 50 lagi ganun eh. 56, 55 naglalaro na siya dyan. Baka di mo magtaka maabot na ng 60 yan or 58 ganun.
bilihin dito sa Pilipinas. Well, sa madaling paliwanag nitong aming binanggit, ay dito mo talaga malalaman kung gaano talaga katalinong tao itong si President Bongbong Marcos, which is inalis na yung usaping politika noong pumunta siya ng Amerika at nag-focus na lang siya upang kumbinsihin itong mga businessman na ito na mga Amerikano upang mag-invest dito sa ating bansang Pilipinas. Na ang mabilisang tanong namin naman sa inyo ngayon ay ano kaya ang masasabi ng ilang media na nagpapakalat ng balita na hindi daw makakatapak ng Amerika itong si President
Naalala ko naman ako, sabi nila noon hindi na makakatabak ng Amerika eh. Pero tutusin guys, pabalik-balik ng ating Pangulo sa Amerika.
Bongbong Marcos. At nasaan rin kaya yung mga anti-Marcos na nagsasabi na kung makakapunta raw itong si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa Amerika ay hindi raw ito makakauwi ng Pilipinas. Dahil doon pa lang daw sa Amerika ay huhulihin na itong si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. So dito mo talaga malalaman na ang totoo at karamihang propaganda ng ilang anti-Marcos na ipinapakalat nila ngayon sa internet ay wala talagang katotohanan.
Wala.
Na ang layunin naman nila sa kung bakit nila ito ginagawa ay upang masira at ipahiya lamang ang pangalan ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa mga Pilipino.
The President of the Republic of the Philippines, Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Magandang hapon sa inyo lahat. And thank you for this opportunity for me to be able to make my final statement on this trip from the Philippine delegation to the United States that we have just finished. So, seeing as dahil hindi nga ako, dahil tutuloy nga ako sa UK, sabi ko maaari, ito na yung, kung baga hindi ako makakapag-arrival statement dun sa Maynila, kaya pagkakataon ko na lang ito na makapag-bigay ng statement tungkol nga dito sa nakakatapos lamang na bisita natin sa United States at sa pamahalaan at kay President Biden sa pamahalaan ng Estados Unidos. So this brings to an end my official working visit to Washington, D.C. Over the past 4 days, I met with Joe Biden, the President, Vice President Kamala Harris, my counterpart in the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Secretary Tom Vilsack, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, and several other cabinet officials who joined President Biden in our expanded bilateral meetings. Our discussions were very productive. We are of the same mind that our long-standing alliance and partnership must be adapted to address the challenges of our time in order to bring about lasting peace and sustainable prosperity to our countries and to our peoples. The joint statement we issued outlines the key initiatives that we will pursue across all areas of our bilateral engagement to achieve these objectives. I look forward to having our respective teams follow through on the many areas of cooperation that we have identified. This will help advance our key priorities with respect to agriculture and food security and to promote energy security as we transition to clean energy and boost trade and build resilience of our supply chains, enhancing connectivity and digitalization, also of climate change, mitigation and adaptation. In addition to existing bilateral policy dialogue platforms and working groups, we agreed to institutionalize a ministerial-level study group to advance cooperation on climate-smart agriculture, which I myself will lead. I also met with quite a few U.S. companies, both those looking to further expand their already valuable presence and operations in the Philippines, and those looking to invest in our country for the first time. They are all committed to be part of this development journey that we have embarked upon. We returned to the Philippines with over $1.3 billion in investment pledges that have the potential to create around 6,700 new jobs for Filipinos within the country. When realized, these investments will support our country's economic recovery efforts and further strengthen the foundations of our economic environment. We expect even more investment that will lead to materialize once these companies firm up their plans. Nevertheless, the interest is a welcome sign of their trust and confidence in the Philippines as an investment destination. Together, we will be working on addressing some of our key economic challenges, particularly food, energy, and health security, digital connectivity, and the cross-cutting issues of climate change and pandemic preparedness. The discussions that we had with the U.S. business community also affirmed the optimism which international investors view the Philippines today. It was with great pride that I received their praises for the talent, ingenuity, work ethic of Filipinos. This has become the main driving force for bringing their investments to our country. We also welcome all the initiatives to expand collaboration with the Philippine government and our universities to support the continued growth of local talent. These, complemented by our game-changing economic reforms, will serve as a firm foundation for an indomitable partnership. My visit would not have been complete without meeting with Filipino community from the U.S. East Coast, as well as some who came all the way from the Caribbean. I thank them for their contributions to the communities in the Philippines and in the United States. They continue to bring honor to our country in the practice of their chosen professions. They continue to bring a shine to the reputation of Philippines and Filipinos with their philanthropic work, especially during calamities and disasters that have touched so many lives. I urge our fellow kababayans here in the East Coast to continue to be our partners in promoting the country for tourism and investments. I then capped my visit with a speaking engagement at the Center of Strategic and International Studies, where I shared my reflections on why I think the Philippines and the United States has been and will continue to be naturally drawn to each other. Beyond our treaty alliance, we are bound by shared values and our commitment to mutual prosperity. I underscored my main message during this visit. The Philippines and the United States will have to forge closer economic ties and ensure that our bilateral partnership works for our people. That will bring a truly important alliance, a truly valuable partnership, and a continuing friendship into the 21st century. Thank you.
At yun na nga mga kababayan.
At yun nga po mga kapatid, mga kaibigan, dito po tatapos ang ating reaction video. Muli, ako po si Aito, kayo ng Sundalong Tunggalo at 811. Maraming salamat sa patuloy na pagsuporta. Yeah, peace out.